For decades, the Zodiac Killer taunted police with these incredibly complex ciphers, basically challenging the whole world to unmask him. Well, today, we're diving right into an explainer of the Zodiac cipher analysis to understand exactly how these codes were put together and, more importantly, what they're hiding. We're going to jump straight into the cryptography, the math, and honestly, the madness that has kept this case completely unsolved for over half a century. Let's get right into it. To kick off our investigation, we really have to ask ourselves a pretty crucial question. Can a string of symbols actually unmask a true crime legend? I mean, we aren't just staring at random letters here. We're looking at mathematical patterns, linguistic quirks, and even structural mistakes left behind by a killer. Analyzing these ciphers isn't just about solving a puzzle. It's more like building a psychological profile written entirely in code, giving us an analytical pathway straight into a really dark mind.
All right, moving to Section 1, the Zodiac Killer.
So, as the source text makes clear, the Zodiac Killer wasn't just a murderer. He was this master manipulator who absolutely terrorized Northern California back in the late 1960s. He craved the attention, right? He'd send these taunting letters and cryptograms to local newspapers, literally threatening more violence if his puzzles weren't published on the front page. He claimed that if you could just break his ciphers, you'd reveal his true identity. And that chilling game of cat and mouse is exactly why breaking down these codes is so absolutely vital. We're dealing with a perpetrator whose very name is supposedly locked behind the encryption he created.
Let's move on to Section 2, the cipher analysis.
Now, when experts tackle the Zodiac ciphers, they're isolating highly specific, targeted components of his letters, which you can see outlined in the source document excerpts. They basically extract the raw cryptography from the much broader, much messier murder investigation, just to focus solely on the mechanics of the codes themselves. By treating these symbols as isolated mathematical challenges, cryptographers can kind of strip away the noise of the physical crime scenes and zero in completely on the encryption methods the Zodiac used to mask his tracks.
And this is where the battle between logic and madness truly unfolds. On one side, you have cryptographers deploying these intense mathematical tools, probability theory, complex equations, linguistic algorithms, all trying to impose order on absolute chaos. They're relentlessly searching for repeating symbols or grammatical tells hidden beneath the encryption. But on the other side, up against all this rigid, structured science, is the erratic, deeply unhinged reality of the Zodiac himself. This analysis is really a desperate attempt to bridge that massive gap between elegant mathematics and the chaotic mind of a brutal killer.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 3, the unsolved mystery. You know, despite decades of intense scrutiny by everyone from amateur sleuths to professional intelligence agencies, the ultimate answer remains just out of reach. The enigma endures simply because the Zodiac's ciphers are notoriously irregular. He made spelling errors, he changed his encryption rules right in the middle of a message, and he used this complex homophonic substitution that totally defies standard decoding techniques. These unpredictable roadblocks are exactly why the case continues to captivate and incredibly frustrate investigators even today.
So we're left with the ultimate question. Will modern techniques ever actually catch up to these historical codes? We're caught in this fascinating tension between the brilliant, highly advanced mathematical tools of modern cryptography and the broken, chaotic ciphers of an unidentified killer. The ultimate code, the one supposedly containing his true identity, well, it might still be waiting for the right breakthrough. And it really leaves you to wonder just how much of the Zodiac's mind remains locked away, waiting to be deciphered.